Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chaotic Entertainment. I'm your host, Dan, and in today's Hidden Gems, I'll be discussing the second greatest piece of media to ever come out of Shanghai. Eastward is a game where you play as Willem Dafoe on an epic quest to maintain custody of your supernatural cyber baby. Developed by Pixpil, this title really flew under the radar for most content creators, which is a shame because it punched way above its weight class in terms of quality. Great visuals, solid gameplay, fantastic story, and probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. In Eastward, you play as John, a salt miner who lives in an underground mining town with his adopted daughter Sam. Sam is easily the worst thing to have ever happened to humanity. Her existence is so vile and detrimental to those around her that no living being could birth her naturally. No one knows if God is real, but Sam is living proof that Lucifer is alive and walks among us. Also, John found her in a neat pod and made the very unfortunate decision to keep her. I'm not mad at you, John. I'm just extremely horrified. This isn't to say that Sam is a bad person, she isn't. She just excels at making every bad choice humanly and inhumanly possible. So much so that the two are eventually booted out of their home and sent on an epic quest to find a new life. This is when you find out that Eastward is a post-apocalyptic game that takes place after a great calamity. The world that was destroyed by a great miasma, leaving behind only small pockets of humanity as well as several mutants and monsters. This game's art style is very adorable and really pleasant to look at, which is what makes some of the monsters just so horrifying. Speaking of visuals, this game's pixelated graphics are some of the best I've seen in recent years. Character models are simplistic but still detailed, while the environments are just gorgeous. This game has everything you could want in a setting. There's Pot Croc Isle, an underground shithole whose entire population consists of inbred cave people. There's also Greenberg, a farming village known for Uva, the town's pride and joy. I didn't really know what they meant by that. Then she turned sideways. There's also New Dam City, as well as Old Dam City. Each of the environments in this game are unique, and I can't think of any that aren't immediately interesting to look at. There are several others, but I'm trying to keep this video short, so we're gonna move on. I'm bad at segues, so we're gonna talk about gameplay now. The gameplay is a combination of combat, exploration, and bothering every single NPC so you can hear whatever inane bullshit they're on about. The world is full of monsters and registered sex offenders, so it's up to you to keep yourself safe. Luckily, John came prepared with a frying pan, IEDs, and Sam's reality-breaking magic powers. If you need to get your health back up, just slam down whatever fucked up food you cooked that morning. It's delicious, nutritious, and no one's going to screw with a man who voluntarily eats whatever the hell this is. Pineapple on pizza? Pathetic. Try jelly on cave spaghetti. The controls in this game are tight and very satisfying to play with. My only gripe is I wish you moved faster in safe zones. You do a lot of exploration and backtracking in this game, and being able to move faster would be a godsend. There's a fast travel system, but it's not the best. Honestly, I kind of managed to forget it even exists half the time. And while this game's controls feel good, some of the fights can get a little repetitive, especially if you're trying not to use all your ammunition. There's also this arcade minigame you can play as you go through the campaign. We ignore that. We just ignore that. Now, I saved this game's major focus for last, the story. And there's a reason for that. This game's plot is fantastic. The story is this game's biggest focus, and it shows. The only thing you need to know is pay attention. The story is subtle about a lot of details, and if you just mash your way through the dialogue, you're going to be confused as hell by Chapter 4. The game won't just walk you through the plot, but it's very satisfying to play through. John is a silent protagonist, meaning you're mostly an observer in any given situation. The character interactions in this game are great, and the overall story does an excellent job at keeping you invested. And the ending is one of the most bittersweet, how fucking dare you hit me in the feels endings I've seen in ages. Does it seem like I'm being vague? Because I am. The story is the biggest part of this game, and going into any major details would spoil it. If you really want to see what I'm talking about, you'll have to shell out the $24.99 and just see for yourself. I will explain why it's so enjoyable though. Dialogue in this game isn't just solid, it's outright fantastic. Out of all of the major characters in this game, I don't think there was a single one I disliked. Even the villains were at the very least interesting enough that I wanted to interact with them as much as possible. If all of that isn't enough, this game's soundtrack is absolutely amazing. It's so good that I gave Pixpil more of my money just so I could use it in my YouTube videos, including this one. Buy this game, purge the mutants, and experience the horrors of fatherhood. Eastward gets a positive review from me, and I'd highly recommend it. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. A huge thanks to my supporters on Patreon. I don't say it enough, but your contributions are a big part of what makes these videos possible. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all next time.